Okay, so this is my spoiler-free review of the highly anticipated Amazon Prime show, Hunters, which comes out Friday. This is actually helmed by David Weil, who's kind of a new face to the industry here. He is the showrunner, creator of this, and he writes the first two episodes. This is also executive produced by Jordan Peele, who really can use a good produced show in his belt after the disaster that was Twilight Zone. So when I got sent the screeners, I got sent 5 episodes, so I'm basing this off the first 5. This is a 10-episode season. But with these screeners came a note from David Weil. He was explaining how personal this story is to him, which got me very excited. You know it's coming from a place of deep connection to the material. There's passion there, and you feel it in this letter he wrote. So I was really excited to dip into this. Now let me just say, the premiere, it's an hour and a half long. It could play as its own movie. It is spectacular. The cinematography in this episode alone felt game-changing on its own. It kind of felt like when I first saw the cinematography in The Handmaid's Tale, where it felt different. It set such a mood for the show and constantly kept you on your feet in a good way, not distracting. And this premiere has that. I mean, you'll just notice it is a work of art in how this cinematography is done in this premiere episode. So really take it in, and there's such heart to it. It's dark, it's heavy-duty stuff. In my head, I gave the premiere 9.8. I thought it was almost perfect. However, the person who directs the first episode doesn't direct any of the other episodes, and you see the drop-off. And also, David Weil, who is the creator and main writer, he does the first 2 episodes and then dips out, which always frustrates me, especially when it's your first show. You're really helming by and you're saying it's personal to you. Write the whole thing. Do a whole season. Why is it that you only do 2? That really frustrates me. And you see the change in quality in writing as well. So as this show goes on, nothing comes close to what I saw in the premiere, or maybe even the tone I thought it was going to be. It goes from being just a very deep personal story and unique in so many ways to falling into another blend of The Boys and Watchmen and really any of the Marvel Netflix type shows where it's rated R type comic book story. It's gruesome, but it's still hitting the same plot points. You got a detective here who's in the middle of both sides with these hunters and then these Nazis. So you're replacing really just superheroes versus villains, and it's this group of Nazi hunters versus Nazis, and there's a detective trying to figure it all out in the middle. You've seen it before. It also is constantly quoting comic books in the show that's clearly inspired by, but it gets tiresome in a sense because we keep seeing this in so many shows now. The main gist of it being about Nazi hunting is the unique part. But as it goes on, you realize that's really the most unique part of it all in general. It gets repetitive, and a lot of it you just feel like you've seen in other shows, just presented in a different suit here. I'm also very angry when something seems like a complete ripoff, and this to me was actually with the composer, where if you were a big Leftovers fan, you will notice there is one song that the composer did here that is a complete ripoff of one of the main tunes of Leftovers. If you can catch that, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to see if you agree with me on that, because I think it's completely stolen, and I wasn't crazy about that. It also suffers from bloat. I mean, not one of these episodes is under an hour. They're long. It could definitely trim some fat here. It gets a little too self-indulgent in a sense. I enjoyed that Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother is getting work. He's really good as the comic relief here, but he still feels underwritten. And that's another problem I have, where there's so much weight given to the main character, but we have so many other characters, and in 5 episodes I still feel like I haven't learned anything about them, and I still want to know more of their character motivations and why they're even doing what they're doing. So we'll see. I mean, I haven't seen the next 5, so we'll see if that gets sorted out. Now, Al Pacino absolutely kills it. I thought he'd be one of those things where he's in it for 1 episode and disappears. No, he's in it a bunch, and he's great. Doesn't mail it in. It's one of his best performances I've seen, so it's exciting to see him do this in a TV show. The acting's good, too, all across the board. It's just certain characters, especially the lead character here, Jonah, gets really annoying fast. He falls into that angsty teen branch, but more of like, he's just a douche. Like, you don't like him, and it's tough because you spend the most time with him. He's always angry, and justifiably so, but to the point where the people who should even be nice to, he's just awful and annoying. So that gets frustrating as well. And a lot of the writing falls into that writing that doesn't come off totally natural here, where a lot of characters are just saying quotable things. And I say this a lot, but it's like preachy in the sense of quotable things you'd hear on Twitter that people say, and a character directly said to someone, you're like, no one would ever say that in a conversation. So you fall into that too. And also in being a gruesome show, what was disappointing was the choreography for the fighting. It's pretty stale. It's not great. I don't feel any of the punches, and I don't feel a lot of these characters fight that well. So it's clearly got issues, but I have a feeling that this is a niche show in the sense, if you like comic book shows, you're gonna like this show. It fits in with the Daredevils of the world. It fits in with the boys. It's good. But if you're looking for something that changes the game and brings all audiences in, it's not this show. It is in the premiere. You're going to watch the premiere and be like, wow, this is incredible. But you'll see as it goes on, it kind of just dips into everything else you've kind of been tuning into, except the change being, okay, we're doing Nazi hunting, which is cool. That's unique, but I just wish the way they presented it was more unique. In the end, it's masking that you're kind of seeing something you've seen 100 times over. But overall, for the 5 episodes I saw, I would give this a solid 8.4. It was one of those shows that was really hard to rate because there's just points I'm watching and I'm like, the whole time, like, do I really like this? I don't know. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like, again, I love the premiere, and then after that, I was like, I really want to like this, and I think it's okay. I don't love it. It's not something I can sit there and be like, this is amazing. I feel like a lot of people are going to say it's amazing because you're excited at seeing these new type of faces going on, these new type of villains you don't see in this way in the comic booky landscape of it. It feels like it's based off a comic, and it isn't. But underneath all of that, it's formulaic, and I just don't care enough because it's just revenge, and it loses its soul a bit. So we'll see. Maybe the last 5 episodes bring it back up again. But that's what I'm going to say for Hunters. I definitely suggest if you like that type of thing with comic book, check this out. You're going to dig it. And if you like it, seeing Nazis get killed, who doesn't? You'll like it too, but don't expect this incredible show. Temper your expectations after the premiere. Let me know down below if you plan on watching it. I love to hear your thoughts. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I review a bunch of TV shows. I also do celebrity interviews as well, so you don't want to miss those. And please follow me at SteveRarley1 on Twitter and Instagram for more of me. And I'll see you next time.